Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, everyone, depending really on where you are joining us from. Welcome to the first SPE Young Professionals Town Hall. We are really happy to have everyone with us today as we start this initiative. So my name is Mohammed Ali Yusuf, and I'll be leading and moderating today's session as part of the SPE International Young Professionals Committee. So kind of the reason this initiative matters to me is that through SPE KSA and my current outreach role, I've seen how important really it is to connect students, young professionals, and industry members as well in a practical kind of way. So a lot of great work is happening across sections, but sometimes it stays within one team or one region. So this town hall is really about creating a space where we can share what is working, learn from each other, and build a stronger young professional engagement globally. So just to briefly introduce myself, I am Mohammed Ali Yusuf. I graduated from KFUPM with first honors in petroleum engineering, and I do hold a concentration at a minor degree in enhanced oil recovery, specifically chemical enhanced oil recovery. So during my undergraduate journey, I had the chance to study abroad at Colorado School of Mines and complete a summer training program at Cornell University. Both experiences really helped me to grow technically and exposed me to international academic environments and shaped the way we really approach research and communication. So from the SPE side, I previously served as the president of the SPE KFUPM student chapter, and I currently lead the university outreach at SPE KSA, where we really focus on connecting students with young professionals and the industry as well. So career-wise, I started my career with Saudi Aramco as an offshore production engineer, where I worked closely with field operations and real production challenges. And I currently work with Saudi Aramco Upstream Research Center, focusing on thermochemical stimulation technologies. I was also very active in technical paper contests, especially through SPE and other professional societies. So these contests really played a big role in my development because they pushed me to kind of present research clearly, different technical ideas, and basically represent my university and region at a higher level. Through these efforts, I was fortunate to win several awards, and many of the research ideas later contributed to journal publications, conference papers, and patent filings. So for today's session, the agenda is quite simple. We'll start with the session purpose, where we explain why this town hall was created, what we hope to achieve through it. Then we'll move to the young professional town hall structure, which is basically how we want this initiative to work moving forward, especially with regional representatives, young professional leads, and future sessions. After that, we'll have the young professional discussion, which is really the main part of today's session. So this is where we want to hear thoughts, experiences, challenges, and practical ideas from different sections and regions. Toward the end, we'll have the time for Q&A, and we will also share the registration form so anyone interested can stay connected or contribute to future sessions as potential young professional speakers. And finally, we'll close with remarks from Jennifer Miskimins, the 2026 SPE President. Now, before we go into the session purpose, I'd like to briefly introduce Mr. Yusuf, who has been closely involved in shaping this initiative with us. So Mr. is a committee lead with the SPE International Young Professional Committee, and she has played an important role in helping us structure this town hall and define what we wanted to achieve. So I'll not say too much because she'll introduce herself properly, but I really want to thank her for the effort and leadership she has brought into this initiative. So, Mr. I'll hand it over to you now. Please feel free to introduce yourself and then take us through the purpose of today's session. Mr.
Yeah. Thank you, Mohammed. I confirm you can hear me, please. Okay, so
yes, we can absolutely hear you.
We can move with the slides. So yes, like Mohammed rightly introduced me, I'm the committee lead for the Young Professional Committee, SPE International, and I'm currently doing my executive master's in energy engineering and management in Germany. And I have a foundation where we are focused on education, and I also host a YouTube channel, more like a podcast, where we talk about behind the scenes of the energy women actually put into their career and so many things. Before now, I used to work as a process engineer in Dangote Refinery for around 4 to 5 years. And I used to also be very active in the Nigeria and Africa Young Professional Council. Yeah, I'm still active, not used to be. So, and I have a bachelor's in chemical and polymer engineering. So just the pictures can just do a little bit of talking. That was a picture from the Nigerian Council Conference with Triple H. That was the 2015 SPE President, and several awards I've gotten from SPE. And I think these are actually one of the things you get as a way for SPE to say thank you for your activeness and what you've been doing. Please, the next slide. Okay, so going into why we are here, just like Mohammed has talked about, this is the first of its kind, and we are going to have several others. So the main purpose is actually to create a practical and solution-focused conversation amongst YPs, because normally we know within SPE demographics, YPs are more like the most active. We are the ones that run most of the activities in our sections, and we want to see how YPs have been doing this. We have other sections who might really are not so active, so it is an opportunity to learn from others, see how we can implement what other sections have been doing and how it can actually work in your own section. And it's not just about one activity. We know we have technical activities, we have social engagement, we have volunteers engagement, and so many. So it's more around strengthening engagement, sharing proven practices, because we want to be real. And that's why we are going to, Mohammed is going to talk about how this is going to function. And we're going to identify opportunities for stronger regional and section level collaboration. And aside that, we also intend to publish the ideas that have been shared, that will be shared on this platform, which is also a way to put these sections out there and the individuals who are putting in the work. So it's an opportunity to connect, to learn, and to build. Next. So now going into the why, I would like to use data to speak. So to put facts into what we are going to be saying, you can see this is the data from number of YPs for a decade from 2015 to 2025. The one with the yellow is the 2015 and the blue is the 2025. We can see how the number has actually been dwindling, increasing, and it has reduced. And the highlighted green part is where we actually fall in as young professionals. And for young professionals within SPE, people who are 35 and below, and like out of bachelor's degree. So immediately you're done with your bachelor's, you automatically become a young professional till you are 35. And this is an opportunity for us to engage, be a part of so many activities. And you can see that in 2015, we used to have approximately 19,500 members as young professionals. And as at 2025, the number actually reduced. That's almost 39% decline. And that's a huge number if you are working with numbers. So we want to see the why we have these results and how we can actually make it better, how we can work with student chapters to increase their engagement, because most times the huge number is from the student conversion. And my next slide will actually show how true that is. Next slide, please. Yeah, so you can see how by region, because this session will also engage regional representatives, and that's why on the YPC, we decided to have a representative from each region to show inclusion, to show that we are not just discussing amongst a particular set of young professionals, that we involve everybody from every section. So it's easy for us to engage, see what the YPs within your sections, your region actually wants, and how we can implement it, because truly what works for one section or one region might not work for another. So now let's look at the data of students, how students have actually evolved. This shows, this is 2025, the number of students within region. You can see Africa and Asia as the largest number of students. And moving down to the YPs, for both sections, we actually have a reduced number. So it shows that there's a huge gap between how we get the students to actually see more relevance in being YPs, remaining on the SPE, being SPE members right after school, how you can actually make more use of your membership, the impact, and how it actually works. You can see for North America, we actually, funny enough, we have very few students, and moving to young professionals, they actually occupy a large spectrum of these data. So this is to show us that there's actually a gap somewhere, and that is why we want to see what sections who are actually doing this, doing the big numbers, working actively, getting this engagement done, getting the members within their section. Let's see what they are doing that can actually be implemented in other sections, or even what we can actually do better as SPE at large to make your membership relevant and worthwhile. So I would go back to, I'll give the mic back to Mohammed, who is going to talk about how we intend to move this town hall beyond just today. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sura, for walking us through the purpose of this town hall and for explaining why this initiative is needed. So now I want to briefly explain how the town hall structure will work, especially the registration form, because it relies on you guys to basically register and sign up to be potential and professional speakers for future sessions. So the idea is that each regional session will include a professional lead spotlight, where selected young professional leads from different SPE sections can share what their section is doing well. So this could be successful events, engagement strategies, membership growth ideas, student to young professional transition efforts, or even challenges and lessons learned through different events and different processes. So to make this organized, we'll use an application registration form, which can be seen in the slide. So if you are a young professional lead, section officer, regional representative, or someone who knows a strong young professional initiative in your section, please use the form to nominate yourself or recommend someone else. We are aiming for around 4 young professional leads per session, so each speaker has enough time to share something meaningful without making the session too crowded. So please register through the form, share with your young professional teams, and encourage active section leaders to apply. This is how we will build the future sessions and make sure that the town hall really reflects real experiences from across SPE. So this slide shows the roadmap for the upcoming town hall sessions. Today's session is really kind of the starting point. It is mainly an introductory session where we explain the idea behind the YP town hall and the purpose and how the structure will work moving forward. So for today specifically, the discussion will focus more on getting insights from Dua, our colleague, based on her experience with young professionals, regional engagement, and YP activities in general. So instead of jumping directly into regional case studies, today we would like to first set the foundation and kind of hear from someone who has been involved in young professional work from different angles. So after today, the plan is to move into the regional town hall sessions. Each region will have the opportunity to bring young professional leads from different sections to share their best events, engagement strategies, success stories, and challenges and lessons learned. So the reason we're doing it this way is because we want to make the sessions practical. So each region has different strengths and different challenges. So the roadmap gives us a way to capture those experiences in a step-by-step kind of way. So again, today is really about setting the tone, understanding the direction, and really starting the conversation before we move into the regional sessions. So before we move into our discussion for the day, I would like to briefly introduce our discussion guest, Dua Ibrahim. Dua is a project manager at ProServe, and she currently serves as the Middle East and North Africa representative on the SPE International Young Professionals Standing Committee. She also previously served as the chair of the SPE Abu Dhabi Section Young Professionals Committee. I'll keep it short because Dua can introduce herself better, but she brings strong experience in young professional leadership, section engagement, and regional coordination. So Dua, we are very happy to have you with us today. I'll hand it over to you to introduce yourself and share your perspective before we start our discussion. So Dua, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you. And thank you everyone for joining us today. I also appreciate the opportunity to be able to share my experience in this first town hall conversation. So just to briefly introduce myself, my name is Dua Ibrahim. Professionally, as Mohammed mentioned, I work as a project manager at ProServe, where I support cross-functional projects, digital initiatives, and technology-driven solutions across the business. While my education background is actually in civil engineering and science and business analytics. Over the past years, a large part of my journey outside work and my personal development has been around SPE and volunteering and young professional engagement through different capacities. I had the pleasure of being part of the Abu Dhabi section activities, international committees now, also like educational initiatives such as the Energy for Me, technical sections, and regional collaboration. And I've added a few photos here. They show different parts of my journey. They capture different experiences as well. Like, so one of them is like the Energy for Me. You see I'm there with the school kids. That's something I'm really passionate about. And also there are some competitions like Petrobol discussions and leadership opportunities. Again, like I find myself in situations where I feel like lucky to have some of those opportunities and blessed. And yeah, in this session, mainly I'll be sharing like some reflections from my experience as the chair of the Young Professionals Committee in the SPE Abu Dhabi section. And yeah, that's it for my introduction. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you there for introducing yourself. We will now start the discussion. The goal is to basically keep this practical and learn from your experience with young professional engagement. So let's start with the real challenge behind engagement. So this brings me to my first question, which is from your experience, what is often the real challenge behind young professional engagement?
So from my experience, like the challenge was usually not whether like the young professionals wanted to get involved or not. Like a lot of people tend to think that that's the main like challenge. I actually found that many of the young professionals were willing to contribute and participate. They just the issue was that they didn't always know where they fit and how they would like how they could contribute or what they would gain from actually being involved. So like some people joined for different reasons and some were looking for networking, some were looking for exposure, some for like career growth, and some simply just wanted really like and had the hunger to contribute and be part of something that's meaningful. So for me, that became kind of the starting point or the starting like the challenge that I thought that would make things clearer going forward. How do we make participation easier? How do we make it clearer, more meaningful, and easier to sustain long term? Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great point. Engagement is not really about attendance, but it's really about making people feel that they have a role that they can actually contribute to. So this basically takes us or connects us well with our first goal. So, do young professionals in your section have clearly defined and active roles? So, please feel free to answer. We'll pause for like probably 10 to 20 seconds just so we can kind of see what people think. Okay, we've got 9 people left to answer the poll. So please, if you haven't done so, please do so. So this is quite promising. If you can see that we have almost 80% of the people saying that yes, young professionals in their respective sections have clearly defined and active roles. So what do you think about this? If you would like to comment.
Yeah, sure. I think that's actually like really good to see, like a big proportion, like 88%. And I think what becomes interesting then is how these roles translate into ownership and participation in practice, because that's usually where a lot of the engagement happens.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. So I think, Mr. We can probably end the poll by now. Okay. We can share the results with everybody. And we can stop sharing now. Okay. So now that let us move to what actually works. So we want practical examples, not only general ideas. So what actually made engagement improve in practice from your
I think,
experience?
I think like thank you for the question, Mohammed, because this like follows up right from the poll, where like looking back, the way I saw it is that there were 3 main things that really helped me, which sets the tone for like everything I'm going to discuss today. And those 3 things were structure, ownership, and recognition with connection. So structure for me helped YPs find where they fit, and then ownership helped them stay involved, and then recognition and the connection helped them feel valued and part of something that's much bigger than anyone on their own.
Excellent. So these are relatively small practical changes, but they do make a significant difference. And this brings us to the structures. Since you've talked about structure, a structure can mean different things in different sections. So when you say structure, what do you exactly mean in practice?
Yeah, so looking at the slide like in front of us, so I tried to put that in a funnel, starting with what for me what structure looked like. So structure started with the first one was understanding the people first. That was the main thing, and everything built up from there. So intentional placement. So what I did in terms of intentional placement is I spent time speaking to volunteers individually, like had one-on-one conversations. I wouldn't call them interviews, but they did. Some people used to say those like are interviews, but it was really fun part of it. So I spoke to them individually before placing them into teams, because I wanted to really understand what interested them naturally and where they felt they could could even contribute, or where they wanted to contribute. After that, I used a questionnaire to understand preferences more clearly, and I asked things about their primary interest, their secondary interest, and different role preferences. So who wanted more to be a leader, who wanted to be like an organizer, things like that. And that led to the third point, which was clear roles. So we created multiple subcommittees in order to create more participation opportunities, because like I mentioned earlier, like the different people engage differently and want different things. So some enjoyed outreach activities, some were more into technical discussions, some wanted to go out and do some field visits to companies and look at what technologies are out there. We call them exploration visits, and as well as competitions or even professional development. So moving on to the point of focused teams. So we created focused groups, and with each focus group, there was a lead and a backup lead for each one, with 3 to 4 maximum members in a team. I tried placing people with potential to lead across different groups so they could gradually learn from each other and support each other and rotate. And that meant that they can step up whenever they felt ready. There were also people that initially expressed interest to become leaders, but they were like, we don't think we're ready. So that allowed them to develop their skills while they're participating and help prepare them. And last but not least, the last point is sustained participation. For me, that was really the key, and I focused on building the foundation just so I can ensure sustained participation. Engagement grew when people understood where they fit and what they what they owned, and that led to us being able to achieve sustained participation.
Excellent. Thank you, Dara, for the clarification. So, after people join, the next challenge is really keeping them involved. So many people join at first, but staying active is quite harder. So, once people joined, what helped them or helped keep them engaged? So from what you've been, from your experience. So, what helped people, or what helped you to keep people engaged in those kind of activities?
Yeah. So to answer this question, Mohammed, one thing I noticed, and it was very quick, right from the beginning, is that YP stayed engaged when they felt that they were trusted. So the first one was trust, and then the second one was ownership. So I tried to keep communication very simple. Leads, like the leads for each subcommittee had room to run with ideas with their teams, and everyone had space to contribute in a way that worked for them. I told them, if you want me to be part, in each and every single discussion, I would be happy to do it. If you wanted to, do it more on your own and have my support as and when needed, go ahead and do that. So, that sort of created that trust and gave them ownership. And what I found was that once they felt trusted, they naturally, took ownership. And once again they took ownership, contribution started becoming much more natural because they felt that they were building something together as a team. And over time, that also created something really important for me, which was continuity and future leaders gradually stepping up. At SPE Abu Dhabi section at that time, like the Young Professionals Committee, we called it Future Leaders Committee. So that was what we wanted to achieve by the end of it, is leading YPs across the section. And I also, of course, I want to give credit where it's due, because this was all teamwork. We had a wonderful team, supportive chairs. One of the chairs that was with me is actually here in this call, Mahra. So they were we had a really good supportive team, which made a huge difference because people felt comfortable asking for help, trying new things, experimenting and stepping up gradually. So that was really important because we wanted to continue beyond just a single person. We wanted to just ensure that there is continuity.
I absolutely second your point. Thank you for sharing this. Indeed, people do stay when they feel trusted, and they feel that they are part of something bigger that they can actually contribute to. So let us now go to our second poll. So, what is the biggest barrier to young professional engagement in your section? So, no clear structure, low participation, communication gap, or limited opportunities. So please feel free to answer. We'll probably pause for 10 to 20 seconds so everybody can kind of answer, and we can have a clear idea on the biggest barrier to young professional engagement. Okay, so far we have 40% of the people participated. So please, if you haven't, please do complete the polls that help us and kind of basically picture what is the biggest barrier to young professional engagement in this section, and this will probably help us on how to direct discussions in future sessions as well. Okay, so we've had 7 answers so far. We have almost 60% of the people saying limited opportunities. So till we finish the poll there, do you have any comments?
Yeah, if I may add, like, I think, so back to the point, like, so it's when I see limited opportunities, the way that I see it relating to how I, like, you know, how we structured the committee was that we intentionally put those 5 subcommittees, and the reason was that we wanted to create multiple pathways where, like, you know, with people having different types of interests and wanted to engage in different things, different formats, different topics, different. So really, to me, limited opportunity sounds more like you know, maybe it was the lack of multiple pathways for them to be able to participate. Yeah, so that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, I do think that I'm not sure if you agree with me on this, but I think it's probably the responsibility of the section to kind of show the opportunities, the programs, the kind of things that will get people involved. I think it's their responsibility, or it falls under their mission to basically show young professionals what they can contribute to. And I believe that this will certainly basically provide more opportunities for people to participate and kind of lead active engagements within their respective sections.
100%, and part of that is also making sure that the word is out there and they know. Sometimes people just don't participate because they simply don't know the, like, you know, what is there for them to participate in.
I absolutely agree with you, and this is something that I personally suffered from upon my graduation, and once you know, transitioning to the industry. I really didn't know how I can contribute to SPE further. I really thought that the mission was basically, or the volunteering part was only during my undergraduate studies, and I really, because I didn't get much opportunities, or nobody has basically told me about the potential opportunities that are there as a professional. And there are a lot of opportunities. So I think showing professionals the kind of things they can contribute to is extremely beneficial to kind of provide or get more people engaged. So so this also connects to recognition and connection, because this certainly affects professional engagement. So recognition can be simple, but it really matters. So you did mention recognition and connection across different stages. So can you expand on that a little bit?
Certainly. So that brings me to the third point, recognition and connection. So that was really important, and I, like, recognition really matters more than people sometimes realize. Even simple things like appreciation letters, excuse me, certificates, acknowledging effort, or even saying a simple thank you, can make people feel seen and valued. And the connection side was also, very important, because young professionals, as you can see from that, I call it a pipeline. It doesn't really look like a pipeline, but so you see young professionals kind of sit in the middle, and I included school students as well, because that's where the early exposure happens, and they become university students. So from young professionals sit in a very unique position. They can connect to students, and at the same time they can learn from senior professionals and connect with them. And I'll give an example of that. So as part of the Young Professionals Committee back then, we also, one of the things that we were part of our responsibilities was Energy for Me. So, and every single time in the Energy for Me activities, we brought together both the university students and the young professionals. And the engagement was always very strong, making it really rewarding. Students were excited to participate and learn. and the YPs naturally stepped into like mentorship and leadership roles. So it just felt like a place where they can come together. And at times we were also joined by senior professionals. So the focus remained on YPs, whilst involving students helped keep the pipeline alive, because they are the future young professionals, as Mastura pointed out earlier in the discussions as well. So we didn't really like intend to create anything new. We just simply connected things that already existed in a more intentional way, I would say.
Yeah, thank you. That is absolutely relevant, especially when connecting students and professionals and senior professionals. I would say recognition does matter to people, not because they are after the recognition itself, but because it really shows that people do value the work that the young professional is putting towards a certain mission, a certain session, or a certain initiative as well. So with this, we can now open the floor for audience questions. We will basically open the floor for any questions you may have. Please feel free to ask Dua, Mistura, or myself anything related to young professional engagement, section structure, student to young professional transition, or regional collaborations as well. You can either raise your hand or write your question in the chat, and maybe Mr. can help us out in reading that out loud. Also, please feel free, if you have no questions, feel free to share something that you believe worked well in your section, either a certain practice, initiative, whatsoever. So please, if anybody if you guys have any questions, please just feel free to open your mouth and ask the question. So we'll pause for 10 to 20 seconds just to wait to see if people have any potential questions. Okay, so since I actually do have a question to add to you. So what is the one thing that worked well for young professional engagement in your experience with Abu Dhabi section?
Okay, so sometimes like people want to get involved while they're like, and I found myself in the same position before. Like I wanted to get involved, but I was trying to balance work, studies, some personal commitments, and many other things. So one thing that I would say really worked well for me was making participation feel easy and accessible. So keeping communication simple, things like we created a WhatsApp community and then had some groups within that community, and each subcommittee had its own place to send ideas, share thoughts, and just communicate with one another. So I found that once people took that first step and had just one positive experience to begin with, they just started getting involved more as time progressed, and just continued to be active.
Excellent. Okay, we do have a question from the audience. This is from Muhammad Umar. So he's saying, what advice would you give to students transitioning from university to industry? Yes,
Is that fair? Okay. So yeah. So advice to students. So I would say, step out of your comfort zone. Try to get involved in as many activities as you can with your local sections or with your university chapters. Network, stay connected. We had some students that they were participating with us as university students, and then once they finished, they kept that communication line open with those with the section, and they just they some of them actually found jobs through that. Some of them were able to keep some mentors alongside themselves, to go back and ask anything that they felt like they needed guidance on. So I would say the most important thing to me for students is just basically go out there and reach out to any person you can get in touch with, even through LinkedIn. Like, you'd be surprised, so many of the sections are actually very responsible on LinkedIn. Connect with people, and yeah, just step out of your comfort zone and put yourself out there, and the opportunities will just start coming. And be willing to participate and give your time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Basically, stepping out of your comfort zone is key, I would say, and this worked with me personally. Also, Manny says that reach out to university alumni or seniors who are involved in this international and new region. This absolutely works as well. I've worked with a lot of people where they found many reaching opportunities to basically kind of participate and volunteer with SPE, not only, but also they managed to get job offers and secure different interviews just because they've done this. So another question from Muhammad Omar, and we'll conclude the Q&A with this. So how has SPE helped in our professional growth redevelopment?
If I answer, like, from my own experience and how it helped my professional growth and career development, I would say that SPE became that part of my social life in a way, and it helped me strengthen my communication skills. It helped me. I started just attending, by the way. So when I first started, it was back in 2017, and I was just literally just attending events. And every time, like, so people in the section would see my face, and they would remember, like, I'm always there and listening and trying to learn. And then as time progressed, I found myself, like, being asked, okay, do you want to become an active member? And then I became that, and then I became an officer. So I was participating in under, like, the committees in multiple ones. And then I got the opportunity, and it was not something that I even expected. And I appreciated that, of becoming chair for the young professionals. So I would say it really helped, it helped me like, become visible and be able to showcase some of the things that I learned, and help others step into the same roles I stepped into, and progress and just continue. So it helped a lot in terms of, like, my professional development, soft skills, even technical skills, because I was attending technical sessions as well. So yeah, so I would say that that's from my experience.
If I may add my experience as well, Muhammad. So what happened to me was I was pretty involved in student research paper contests organized by SPE. And these contests did provide me with a lot of opportunities, not just the opportunity to travel out there and, meet new people, present in front of experienced judges, being recognized and going to the international stage, but also even in the workplace as well. So I started off my career as an offshore production engineer, and I've always wanted to work in R&D. And this initially wasn't possible, but when my management, they knew about my previous experiences with student paper contests, with publishing papers, conference proceedings, filing patents, they were more than happy to make an exception and basically send me to do R&D. This did help me when it comes to professional growth and career development, because now I'm getting the proper training from a totally different kind of department in a very novel project that we're currently working on. So I would say, not just as a student or as a fresh graduate, but even in your career, SPE can still and will always help. So we do have two more questions, but we are a little bit tight on time. So I'll see at the end of this presentation if we might have some time to answer these questions. But for the time being, I'll just move forward because we've got around 7 minutes left. So I'll emphasize again on the YP Townhall roadmap. So today was the introductory session. We explained the idea, the structure, and we heard insights and experience from there. So next we move into regional sessions where YP leads will share real examples, challenges, and success stories from their sections. So please make sure that you register through the form that we've shared, and we'll share at the end as well. nominate strong young professional leads, and help us build the next sessions together. Now, without further ado, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce our closing remarks. We are honored to have Jennifer Miskimins, the 2026 SPE President, with us. Jennifer is also the Department Head of Petroleum Engineering at Colorado School of Mines. Jennifer, thank you for joining us today, and I'll now hand it over to you.
All right. Thanks, Mohammed. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. It was a pleasure to join you today, and I kind of wanted to stay off camera. I wanted to listen to things. I was very interested in learning and learning from your experiences, and so congratulations, first of all, to Dua and Mohammed. Great session, Mr. Alto, for organizing this. I think it's a phenomenal initiative. As Mr. said, we are struggling with YP membership in Society of Petroleum Engineers. Interestingly enough, we are not the only society that is struggling with young professional membership. It is trends, so I do take comfort in that, that we're not the only ones that are struggling with such. But that nevertheless does not mean that we do not need to address that head on. So first of all, I would love to say that I love this initiative. I think this is a great initiative. As I have had the honor of traveling around and meeting with different sections and meeting with different student chapters around the world, one thing that has occurred to me is that we do not necessarily do a really good job in SPE of sharing best practices. There are some great things that are going on in these different areas, these different regions, these different sections. And I think we could do a much better job of sharing best practices across the board in all categories. In fact, interestingly enough, I'm kind of dedicating my next President's column to some of that. So I'm going to steal some of your materials today. I will ask your permission and share that with you. But you had some really, really, really good points. And I think these are some of the things that we all need to hear and we all need to think about. You hit on it early. Everybody kind of comes from a different direction. There's different things going on in different regions. And so some things are going to work well in some places, some things are not going to work well in others. But unless we know what those are, and unless we kind of share some of that, we never know until we try, right? So again, I just want to say congratulations to the Young Professionals Committee for this initiative. I'm going to take note, Mohammed, I'm glad you shared it again, because I'm going to try and jump on as many of these calls as I can myself. Even if I can't get on them, I plan to listen to them and I plan to share it with some other people so that they can also kind of learn from this. The last thing I want to say, and this is a request that I have right now. Some of you know that we are working on the new strategic plan for SPE, and some of the target areas that we are asking for feedback from are actually from YPs. So there are some surveys out there. Some of you might have received this, some of you might not have received the survey that's going out. If you have received it, very much would ask you to take a few minutes to fill that out. We need to hear your voice. We need to hear the YP voice as we go into some of the planning for the next several years. And if you have not received it, I am going to take this opportunity to share with you an email. And give me a minute to pull it up here. I'm going to put this into the chat. If you have not received this, please reach out to Dana at that email and ask to be sent that survey, and Dana will make sure that you get that. and have the time to get it filled out. So really would love to hear your voice on that. So anyway, I will stop now and turn it back over to Mohammed. But again, congratulations to everybody on this call.
Thank you, Jennifer, for your wonderful and beneficial remarks. We'll now basically go through the registration part. So if you are a young professional lead, section officer, regional representative, or you know a strong young professional initiative, please use the form to nominate yourself or basically recommend someone. If you have any inquiries or questions or any suggestions, please feel free to email us as well at yp@spe.org. We'll now basically stop at this slide, so you're more than welcome to take a photo for the barcode and plan to register for future sessions, as we're actively looking for potential young professional speakers in our future sessions, as you guys might have seen in the roadmap. We will also share the link in the chat. Yes, Mr. just did. So here's the link in case you have some technical difficulties getting the link out of the barcode. So please feel free to access it directly through the chat. I'll basically now leave the floor for any questions that we haven't answered. If you have any further remarks or comments from anybody, please, the time is now. Otherwise, the session is over. You're more than welcome to stay or leave in case if you have any questions, or otherwise you can just leave the session. So Dua, allow me to just go quickly through the questions that we didn't get the chance to answer previously. We have a question from Ben. He is saying, thank you very much for our distinguished speakers. I do love to ask this question. So we have a challenge with young professionals in my section in terms of availability for organizing programs beyond weekends. So is there a way to basically encourage young professionals to participate in impactful physical events or projects that will make a positive difference in the society during weekdays specifically? So, or is it virtual engagement, or is virtual engagement the only feasible mode for most young professionals that are working in the industry? So, Dua, what do you have any takes on this?
Yeah, I came across that challenge, to be honest, and the way and I knew that with work priorities and during the week, at times it was very challenging for some YPs to participate. So I made it I made an effort to actually prepare some letters, explain the purpose of what they're going to participate in, and the importance of their volunteering. And at times, companies would have been happy to just have their name attached to one of the events in a LinkedIn post, for example. So I arranged as much as I could for emails to be sent officially from the section's email. And at times from my own email address. So I did ask them every time, because some people would shy out from actually asking for that sort of support. So I always made it a point to mention to them early on that, look guys, if you want to participate and you find it challenging, we could always see what we can do to support, either through emails, communicating with your line manager, for example, or anything that we could potentially do, and that could also help them. Yeah, so that's what I have about that. I think Mr. has her hand raised. So.
Hopefully that answers your question, Ben. So we have another question from Ali Raza. So he's saying, how can the committee ensure fair support and equal opportunities for all teams in the future, so that no deserving team misses opportunities, as happened in our case during the Petropol Regional Championship participation process?
So missing opportunities. So I would say, keep an eye, like sometimes like emails get sent to faculty advisors, for example, in the cases of Petrobol. And back like last year, for example, when we were doing it, we found that like, you know, we like so there are some of course like privacy requirements when it comes to contacting students directly. So SPE initiates the contact, and then we ask for permission to contact the students directly. So I would say that, like, you know, just keep an eye on any posts through maybe the LinkedIn Young Members LinkedIn page for SPE, as well as try and like, you know, keep an eye on things that, you know, like Petrobol, for example. It's a competition that gets held every year. Now it's regional, in a regional format. So maybe keep an eye on that. Maybe ask your faculty advisors. Try and, like, you know, be proactive from your side. But unfortunately, there will be times that there will be some missed communication, emails that will not be looked at or missed from the inbox. And yeah, and that's something that we maybe the only thing that or one thing that you could do about that is just reach out to those individuals that are hosting those competitions or those events, and try and contact them through social media or through some through your local sections as well, perhaps.
Okay, Ali has raised his hand. It seems he wants to further comment on this. Ali, please feel free to.
Hello everyone, this is Ali Riza from SP Pakistan. We are in Petrobol MENA region 2025. We run up team from the section team. Then we participate in the championship award from the USA team. That time we connect with all SP section, SP section and other SP USA section. No one in the small speaker. For us, then we connect with the SP Pakistan section. They don't respond us. And also we try to physically meet with them. They don't meet us with supporting the SP championship award for the Petrobol region. No one, anyone support us. And then we have, unfortunately, we have not participated in the championship award of SP Petrobol championship. I think that YP team must support our students whenever they participate in the events like the Petrobol or Constant or any other event.
Did you get that, Mohammed? I struggled to.
Honestly, I did not. Ali, for some reason, I cannot hear your voice very clearly. So if you if you can, please maybe write that on the chat. It will be just better for us to kind of understand the comments or the remarks you've added. Yeah, so we can. Yeah, Ali will be more than happy to stay with you to spend some time to answer any inquiries you may have. For others, we don't want to keep you for too long. It's we're already 7 minutes behind. So thank you everybody who attended today. Thank you, Dua, Mistura. You guys have done an amazing job in organizing this whole thing. Jennifer as well. We truly appreciate the time you took to join us today and kind of share your remarks. And I'm sure that the YPs who joined us today have benefited greatly from this session. So thank you.
Can we do a photo maybe before leaving the session? That's okay over here.
I mean, yeah, we can absolutely do that. Maybe Mistura, you can help us out for the.
You have to stop sharing, then out.
Yeah.
If you can open your cameras, whoever is able to.
Yeah, please do. Okay, Mr. You're taking the picture, right?
Yes, I will. So on the count of 2, 1, 2, go with a smile. Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, everybody who joined us today, and we look forward to see you in future sessions. We will spend some time, Dua, Mr. and I, to kind of answer any questions that you may have or any inquiries. So yeah, okay, Dua, I think Ali shared his question in the chat. So let me look at that. Okay, so it's a pretty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe Ali. So Ali said after they qualified, and then I believe that then they qualified to the global competition. And however, due to the lack of support from organizations and stakeholders, including relevant sections, we're unfortunately able to represent our region at the championship level. Taking the future to ensure that deserving teams receive proper support. So the thing with Petroball, speaking from what I've seen other students do that were able to make it to the global competition, is that they reached out and said, can you guys support us in getting some sponsorships? So we explained to them that they could reach out to their local sections, but we also, from our part, we helped with presentations, and we helped them put together some cases that they could then share with some potential sponsors, and they were able to secure some sponsorships through that and made it to the global competition. So I believe that when it comes to such cases, it's an initiative. It needs to be initiated from the student chapter, and then they reach out to their local sections and whoever could potentially provide support. But so that's from the Petroball experience from last year. I hope it answers your question, Ali. Unfortunately, us as a section or the host section, this was not something that we were able to do. We hosted the competition and were able to provide prizes and all of that. But when it came to the global competition, it was something that was the next level up. And yeah. Mastura has her hand raised. I think you have something to say, Mastura.
Yeah. So if you want to kind of.
Okay, so I'm just using, thank you, Dua, for that question. Actually addresses it more. So I think one thing that's coming from Nigeria Council, they kind of have a budget plan at the beginning of the year to put in place for things like this. So probably a prior communication or even something like this among student chapters within your section can actually help address your major concerns. And it's easy for your section or your region to maybe set aside a particular amount for this, and there's a plan towards it. And I think issues like this was actually one of the reasons why they stopped the International Petroball during ATC. So now it's easy for different regions to actually organize. Like the one we had in Germany here, the one for Europe was hosted in Germany, and we had over 20 universities actually attend, which was a large outcome. So I think that in a bit addresses how we can get more student chapters to be a part of this. Then maybe when there's a solution from SPE International as to address those getting to the final, maybe the sections or the regions will be able to put solutions to that from their end.
Thank you, Mr. for comments. I hope this answers your concerns, Ali. If you have any further comments or questions, but yeah, so I think this pretty much answers Ali's concern. So I believe we're done for the day. So yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. Unless you have final remarks, Dua and Mr. I believe we can end the session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this. Thank you. So I look forward to other sessions. So bye for me.
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, for everyone here, please feel free to reach out to us. We will do whatever we can to like, also address any things that's the whole purpose we're here today, is because we want to open up the floor, make sure that people are connected, know who they can communicate with or contact, and we will do whatever we can to help like answer any questions that you may have, or connect you with the right people perhaps at times. So yeah, just feel free to reach out to us where we can help.
Absolutely. Thank you for adding this down. Thank you for your time. Thank you for doing this. Thanks goes to you as well, Ms. Tura. You've done an amazing job, really, in organizing this whole thing, and I think it was executed in a very nice way. So thanks goes to you, to everybody who joined us today. Now, I unfortunately have to run for some other commitment, but it's been a pleasure, really, to meet with all of you today, to have this wonderful discussion, and to really kind of see the anticipation from young professionals across the globe. So this is goodbye for me. Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.